All right, good morning, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Today is June 18th, and this is the Finance Administration Committee and a special meeting of the Board of Directors of the West Basin Municipal Water District. And with that, if we could please determine a quorum, Mr. General Manager E.J. Caldwell.
Happy to do so, Mr. Chairman. Director Harold Williams.
Here.
Chairman Scott Houston.
Here.
Director Gloria Gray.
Here.
Director Don Deere.
Here.
Director Desi Alvarez. We have a quorum.
Okay, very good. We have 4 of the board members are present, so we'll move forward. Any public comment?
Mr. Chairman, we have not received any requests for public comment, though this meeting is being held both in person and virtually. If there's any member of the public that would like to speak, now would be the time to do so. Please indicate that you'd like to speak by raising your virtual hand. And Mr. Chairman, I do not see a request.
Okay, hearing none, we're going to move forward. Presentations. We have no presentations today. And the action calendar. So item 5A is approval of minutes.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we do have 3 sets of special board meeting minutes. For this presentation, we have Desiree Quintero, our manager of administration.
Good morning, members of the committee and board. The approval of minutes can be found beginning on packet page 3. The following minutes have been attached for the board's consideration. The May 15th special board minutes for budget workshop number 3, which can be found beginning on packet page 5. The May 29th, 2024 special board meeting minutes, which can be found beginning on packet page 8. And the May 30th special board meeting minutes for budget workshop number 4, which can be found beginning on packet page 13. The minutes for the West Basin Municipal Water District Board of Directors meetings are an integral part of the public meeting process. Minutes provide a history of the actions taken at board meetings, which is informative not only for members of the public, but for other stakeholders as well. With that, I will read the recommendation. Recommendation is that the board approve the May 15th, 2024 special board minutes, May 29th, 2024 special board minutes, and the May 30th, 2024 special board minutes.
All right, thank you, Desiree. So any questions on the minutes? None. Director Williams, what's your pleasure?
I believe these minutes should be moved to the board for approval.
Good, I concur. So we'll move that forward to our board meeting agenda. All right, next will be item 5B as in boy. Award agreement for a new agenda management system.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this item begins on packet page 15. And for this presentation, we have Hazel Vasquez, our Deputy Board Secretary, too.
Good morning, Director Houston, members of the committee and board. If I can turn your attention to packet page 15, where item 5B begins. As you're aware, West Basin currently utilizes the IQM2 agenda management system to automate the process of preparing, editing, and approving staff reports, agendas, and minutes for the various board and committee meetings, sharing records of board and committee meetings directly to the district website, sharing recordings, and providing access to the public and other stakeholders to view past meeting reports, agendas, and minutes. The current license agreement for IQM2 with Granicus is set to expire in December 2024. When we brought that item for renewal back in November, we did also share with the committee and board that Granicus informed us back in October 2023 that they intend to cease support for IQM2 in September 2025. So that prompted staff to begin to look at alternative options. In that process, we did reach out to other agencies regarding the system that they currently use, their overall experience with that system, and different vendors. We also looked at various municipal clerk associations for recommendations from other clerks, other agencies for the systems that they were using. And then we also reviewed cooperative agreements that the district is part of to see if there were any options through that, going that route. So a team made up of admin staff as well as IT staff participated in initial product demonstrations with various vendors that met the minimum requirements that we have for the system that we're looking to utilize. So in that time, we started to narrow it down, which systems actually met the requirements, which were part of cooperative agreements that we could go through. double checking with other key staff. So we did pull in some of the staff that regularly participates in the creation of staff reports. And we invited them to participate in additional product demonstrations of the systems once we narrowed down to a short list of those that we believed most closely met the district system requirements. During that time, we also started reaching out to existing users of those systems to get their input, their feedback, references of sorts to see if they did recommend not just the system itself, but the vendor that we were looking at. So after various demonstrations, various calls to different references, things of that sort, and after careful consideration and review of all the information, staff has determined that the Civic Plus Select software of all the ones that we demonstrated best meets the needs of the district. Now, Civic Plus is a US-based technology company with over 25 years of experience offering solutions to help local governments work better and engage their residents through their web environment. This Civic Plus system is fully integrated cloud-based software suite that will allow staff to continue to efficiently create meeting agendas and manage live meetings while providing transparency and access to the meeting process to the public and other stakeholders. In other words, it wouldn't really change, other than the system that we're using, it wouldn't change the accessibility that we currently have for any of our public and stakeholders that participated in our meetings or just are interested in following that. There is also an added media component that is included in the cost that will enable staff to continue to upload the recordings to the website, making that available for the public as well. Now, West Basin is able to contract for the Civic Plus Select software through an Omnia Partners Cooperative Agreement with SHI, and that is allowed via West Basin's Procurement Policy Section 5-1.104, subsection G. Now, if you turn your attention to packet page 16, there is a table here that shows the cost breakdown that's provided by SHI. If you wanted to view the full quote, that is available as attachment A on packet page 18. Now, one of the major deciding factors for us in recommending Civic Plus, and just when we were looking at various systems in these demonstrations, was cost. So if you'll note the table, the year one total, which includes the one-time implementation fees, as well as the first year annual licensing fee, that would come out to $32,044.46. Adding on that second year for $28,960.16, would give us a total not to exceed for 2 years of $61,004.62. Now, this was the big selling point for, or not the big, but one of the big selling points. Some of the other systems that we were looking at, comparable to everything that we're currently getting or will be getting with Civic Plus, began at about 50,000. Some of them doubled the 1 year. So we do believe that this is cost effective, not to mention that in comparison to our current system, it's for the 2 years, it would be the same, a little less than what we currently pay for the IQM2 system for 1 year, which is $61,249.60. And again, that's just for the 1 year versus the Civic Plus system that we have before you for your consideration today, which is $61,004 for 2 years. Now, the implementation timeline, should you approve this agreement, would be approximately 24 weeks, not hours.
Pretty quick.
Would be approximately, so that would be impressive. I would be selling that. It would be approximately 24 weeks. That does include the migration of existing data as well as training of staff prior to the system launch. Now, I will note that, as previously mentioned, the current agreement with Granicus does expire in December of this year. So we are going to, if approved, staff will do their best to keep to that timeline. We'll work with both Granicus and Civic Plus to ensure that implementation, training, and data migration is done as close to possible as to those 24 weeks. If for whatever reason we're not able to keep to that timeline, I did want to just bring to your attention that there is a possibility that we may come back to you for an extension of the Granicus agreement to keep us, to hold us over until we are fully launched with the system and to ensure that there is no disruption to the current meeting process. So with that, I'd like to read the recommendation. The recommendation is that the board authorize the general manager to enter into a 2-year agreement with SHI through the Omnia Partners Cooperative Agreement for the Civic Plus Select software for a total not to exceed amount of $61,004.62. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any of your questions.
All right, thank you very much. Any questions? Director Williams?
Yes, if I could ask, I don't wanna sound like an idiot, but, is this gonna be meshing with, the AI stuff?
As far as the ability to utilize AI,
Yeah,
so this system will not provide any AI capabilities, but those things are available for those who choose to use it.
but it won't hinder us from moving in that direction that we so choose to. I don't know.
There is no AI, to my knowledge, integrated within the system. So if there were to be, if that's down the road somewhere we're headed, we would, I think, have to look at another system if that's the case, if it's something that the board is looking to have integrated. But at this time, the system does not have AI integration.
It's all right. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Other questions? Director Deere or Director Gray?
No, thank you.
Director Deere? No. Okay, I really don't have any questions, if any. I mean, look, at the end of the day, the system was gonna have to be migrated. You all done the behind the scenes work. Really in your wheelhouse, and we need to get this moving early. And of course, I'm glad you're looking at cost consciousness. I don't know much about these companies, organizations, just out of curiosity. So Civic Plus, is that the name of the company? Or are there some others, that use it in the region? You've talked to some different public agencies?
Yes, so we did reach out. They actually, from the ones that we demonstrate or that we participated in demonstrations with, and we requested references, they provided, I believe it was maybe 10 different references. I will say that in speaking to those references, their negatives were more of, it's a lot to learn. It does a lot. So the learning curve may be a little difficult in the sense, or there may be more of a learning curve in the sense that the system offers a lot.
So much to it. Okay.
That was one of the big things that they were sharing. But outside of that being the quote unquote negative, those references had nothing but good things to say, both about the system itself, as well as the customer service that they receive, any customer support for any issues with the system. They did mention timely updates when they reported issues with it, communication with their customer support. I heard from a few of them rave about that customer support and just their follow-up. So nothing but good things.
And our IT department seems happy with this.
They participated in the demonstrations throughout the process. Any questions that we had on the admin side, we would, from the IT side, essentially, we would ask them, had them check in. There was a separate meeting between our IT supervisor and the Civic Plus team where he was able to ask all of his questions as well to ensure that the system is going to be compatible with our, everything on our end. So yeah, even on their end, I believe that they would recommend this one as well.
Very good. I think at this point, from what I've experienced, I mean, the system seems to work really well. You all get your agendas posted. It's pretty seamless for us to go in on the public side and just click on the links and get access, as well as, it has everything. It's got the videos, it's got whole package, just the agenda by itself. So whatever it takes to just keep it moving smoothly. And if the earlier, the better, you all can be trained up in time. That's ideal. So it seems like you all are on the right path and brought it to us early. So with that, I would recommend this goes to the full board with a recommendation of yes. And Director Williams.
Concur.
All right. So with that, we'll put it on the consent agenda and we can move forward to our next item, which is 5C as in cat. Conduct a public hearing for the adoption of the fiscal year 2024-25 standby charge. EJ.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. This begins on packet page 20. And for this presentation, we have Wendy Nakamura, Chief Financial Officer.
Thank you, EJ. Good morning, directors.
Morning.
West Basin implement standby charge help pay for a portion of the debt service related to the water recycling facility. As a result of 2022 court settlement, West Basin is required to terminate the standby charges by June 30, 2030. To continue the standby program from now to 2030, a standard process will be done annually. On May 29, the board approved the resolution of intent to continue standby charges for fiscal year 2025. The public hearing notice was posted on West Basin website on June 4th, 2024. We also posted on Daily Breeze on June 7th and June 14th. And then we also post the public hearing notice on Inglewood Daily, Inglewood Today on June 6th and June 4th. So today we are here to ask the board to conduct a public hearing for standby charges on June 24 at the regular board meeting. And then after that, to approve standby charges for fiscal year 2025. If there is no question, I would like to read the recommendation.
Please read it first, yeah.
So the recommendation is the board conduct public hearing, and then after the public hearing, consider approving, adopting, authorizing the president to sign resolution 0624-1209 to impose the standby charges for fiscal year starting July 1, 2024, and repealing the resolution number 0523-1194, which is on to page 21.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, are there any questions? Director Williams?
Question. Whatever happened to the old engineer's report?
The engineer report is attached right here, starting on your packet page 28.
Page 28.
To 28 to 45.
Okay, I was just wondering. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Let's see, other questions? Director Deere or Director Gray? Hearing none, I have no questions either. This is our annual,
That's correct.
I don't know the word to use, but we have to do this once a year. Annually, we are obligated to do this, so it's pretty performative, if you will. And with that, it needs to go to the full board, and then the public hearing will be held in the midst of our meeting, right? Right, EJ? So with that, we really don't need to take a position on this, right? We just move along with
Yeah,
the,
this will be taken to the full board, and at that time, we will conduct that hearing.
very nice. So with that, I think you have your orders, right? Director Williams?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So we'll have a public hearing at our board meeting. Thank you for all the work that does go into that behind the scenes, especially that engineer's report and so on and so forth. So thank you, staff. Okay. Next item, 5D as in dog, amend agreement number W3023, Denali Water Solutions, contract assignment. EJ.
Yes, thank you. This item begins on packet page 46, and for the presentation, we have Colette Ayala, our contract administrator.
Good morning, Chairman Houston and members of the committee and board. So we're here to amend agreement number W3023, Denali Water Solutions. But we're going to be assigning the contract. So West Basin utilizes the services of Denali Water Solutions for solids handling, disposal, and beneficial reuse at our ECL facility. The current agreement with Denali was approved on May 2022 and extended via an amendment in March 2024. On May 15th, 2024, West Basin was formally notified that Denali plans to transfer all of their California biosolids handling and land application assets to Sonargo West. Staff recommends that the board authorize the general manager to amend agreement W3023 to assign it from Denali Water Solutions to Sinagro West, with the understanding that Sinagro West will assume all rights, duties, obligations, and responsibilities under agreement number W3023. And for the recommendation, recommend that the board authorize the general manager to amend agreement numbers W3023 to assign it from Denali Water Solutions LLC to Sinagro West LLC. Are there any questions?
That sounds great. Thank you. Are there any questions? Judge Williams?
No, thank you.
Director Granny, questions?
No, no questions. Thank you.
Thank you. And then my only question is, now when does the contract end? And we extended it.
Yes, we did extend it. Let me double check. I believe we extended it through next year. The current contract ends on December 31st, 2024.
The 31st, so it's this year.
Yes, yeah, so it ends at the end of this year.
Okay, so my only thought would be if we could put that into the write-up, please, just to, to add that in there somewhere. But other than that, I think we're fine to move this to the full board, for approval, recommendation of yes. Director Williams?
Concur.
And thank you very much for that. Okay, now, information calendar, item 6A, monthly financial report.
Yes, for this monthly information item, begins at packet page 75, and we have Sandra Ruiz, our accountant 2, here for the presentation.
Thank you, EJ. Good morning, members of the committee and board. I will be presenting item 6A, the monthly financial reports. As required by West Basin's Administrative Code, staff is required to submit various financial records to the board to keep them appraised of the financial condition and future needs of the district. With that, I will begin on packet page 77, item 6AA, the demands list for the period ending May 31st, 2024. This report concludes on packet page 83, where you will see the total demands for the month was 17.9 million. Of that, you will see that above that, you will see that the invoice, the March 2024 invoice to Metropolitan Water District consisted of 10.2 million, which made up approximately 57% total spent for the month. Another item of note would be that May was a long month, so we had 3 payrolls in that month, which made the payroll a little bit larger than normal. Other than that, I have no other items of note for the demands list, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions, Director Williams?
No, thank you.
Anybody else? Questions? Looking through, I don't see anything glaring, so thank you for that. You can go on.
Okay, I will note the next item, item 6AB is a handout. It is our monthly cash and investments reports. And the cover,
This is the one that says Chandler
yes.
front, okay.
So if we look into the first page, this would be agenda item 6AB. This is for West Basin Cash and Investments Report for the period ending May 31st, 2024. You see the total market value is 66 million for the month. To the right is a pie chart that lists all the investments and broke it down into percentages. The next page is the credit quality report. And you notice that the bars compare last month to this month. And then finally, the last page is the maturity distribution. The first column shows the majority investments highly liquid, which consists mostly of late California class, our checking accounts, all this available on demand to cover our expenses and payroll items. That concludes the cash and investments reports.
Any questions on that?
No, thank you.
Go ahead.
The next item is also a handout, item 6AC, item 6AC, which is the monthly water sales report. There's 2 pages to this report. First page is the imported retail. You will see for the month of May, it was 7,230 acre feet for the month. So total year to date is 76,284 acre feet. With this, the expectation is that we will reach 83,500 for the year. Like that is feasible. Below that is the imported barrier report graph. You will see that it was 1,118 acre feet. Broken down, Dominguez Gap made up 121 acre feet, and the West Coast barrier made 996 acre feet. The next page, the backside would be the recycled water. For the month, you see 2,097 acre feet was sold. And the table below breaks it down for the month. Barrier was at 284, refineries 1607, and disinfected tertiary was 206. And with that, that concludes the water sales report. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
No, thank you.
So now you project we'll have our final sales you think is going to be around 83,500.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay. And I know we were thinking it might be down to 82-ish, but might do a hair better on that. Okay. Obviously, that'll be by the end of this month, right? So when all the final numbers come in at the end of June, which in the next month you'll get the meter reads, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
So we'll know where we're standing by next month's meeting. Got it. All right. Okay. Any other questions? I don't think anybody had any. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
the last item, if you would turn to packet page 86, item 6AD. This is the Director's Conference and Travel Expense for the month ending May 2024. And then finally, packet page 87, the last item 6AE is the Executive Management and Staff Travel Expense Report for May 2024. And with that, that concludes the monthly financial report.
All right, very good. Any questions?
Well, thank you.
I'll just make a comment as we're ending the year, and even with the staff travel, I think you all done really, really well to be judicious in the traveling. I mean, we obviously give you a really good budget, but on the other hand, EJ and the team, you're managing it well. So I highly encourage, of course, our staff to be able to go to conferences and to do the work that they need to do on behalf of the district. But I also see, we've been really watching the pennies, and I think that's very noteworthy. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
I would ditto that.
Yeah.
Staff should be able to get the training to do better and better each year. I support that.
That's very good. Okay. Well, that about wraps it up, doesn't it? Okay, so closed session. We have no closed session. Director's comments for future agenda items. Director Deere.
Okay.
Okay. Director Gret. Director William.
No, thank you. Everything is, well.
Mr. Chairman, if I could add one thing. You may have noticed that we had a number of handouts for you for this meeting. I did want to point your attention to one of those items. You can see that we were notified earlier this week from the Government Finance Officers Association that we did receive, it's included in there, a certificate of achievement for excellence in financial reporting. And so we wanted to hand this out to the members of the board. Obviously, I'm very pleased with our budgeting process. But I think that this kind of notes the hard work that West Basin has been doing on the part of our staff as well as the board. The thoroughness, the details, a lot of work goes into each budget. It's not just a 1 month thing. So I want to say thank you very much to our finance team for all the great work that they're doing, and recognize them for that.
Okay, very good. Thank you, EJ, for bringing that to our attention, because it was at the very bottom of this pile here of the papers. No, that is something to be proud of. And we know that the board does ask a lot of staff, especially going through the budget process, both last year and this year, and even years before. I think we really have streamlined this a lot better, even though, yes, we do ask a lot. But I think if you look at the big picture of West Basin and the financial management, I think we are doing much better for the board's understanding, which leads to the public understanding, but also to make sure that as an organization, we're looking at where we put the proper energy and resources. So it is to be commended. This, I think, we're just ending it, but I think we had a really thorough budget process this year too. So hopefully maybe they'll recognize that next year. But it's been an interesting journey the last 2-3 years in how we do our budget process. And I'm going to tell you, I really think we are strong on that. And I think one of the better things too that we've done is to set the expectations reasonably when it comes to water sales. And then we're not looking at, being under budget, but trying to be as much on target as the water sales pan out. So that being said, thank you to everybody who's involved, and the board as well. We're pushing hard, but the staff is working to respond. So I think we've done a great job together. So with that, congratulations. Our next meeting is scheduled for July 16th of 2024. And I have no further comments, so we are adjourned.